In this video, I'm just going to show you some examples of Part 3 questions and answers, and provide you with a short analysis of the answers to explain why they are high band scoring and appropriate. I'll go through 2 sets of 3 questions. Each set will be on a different topic. The first group of questions is on the internet and social media. Which websites are popular among your generation? I think people around my age like to go on sites like Facebook and YouTube. Young people use YouTube to stay in touch with their friends and family and keep up to date with the lives of people they know. And most people I know watch videos on YouTube about things they're interested in. I personally use Facebook to chat with my family and watch interesting documentaries on YouTube. How has the internet changed social behaviour? I guess it's made us communicate with each other more, but we might have less face-to-face contact. It's much easier to connect with people at any time and in any place. Yet this is done whilst looking at a computer or a phone, which means we often ignore the people around us. Nowadays, when I look at people in public, there are more people with their heads down, looking at their mobile, than looking up and interacting with each other. Should companies check job applicants' online profiles? Definitely not. This would be a terrible and foolish thing to do. Firstly, it's an invasion of privacy. Even if their profile is accessible, it's used for communicating with their family and friends, not their potential employees. Secondly, what you see on their online profile may not be an accurate representation of them, particularly of what they are like at work. For example, the way I act at work is very different to the way I am in my private life. You can see here that all of the answers, apart from the last one, are 3 sentences long. This does not mean all your answers need to be this length, but it is a good guideline to follow. The first question, which websites are popular among your generation, is answered directly in the first sentence with a simple phrase to give opinion. I think. And 2 specific websites are given as the question asks for websites and not just a website. The following sentence gives a quick explanation and uses some good idiomatic language. Stay in touch and keep up to date with. Finally, the speaker gives a personal example to support their opinion. The second question is again answered with a phrase to give opinion. I guess. This is slightly different to I think, as it shows the speaker might be slightly less sure of their answer. The sentence gives a direct answer, but also shows 2 sides. More communication, but less face-to-face contact. Both of these points are explained in the next sentence, and in the last sentence, the speaker gives an example from what they have seen around them. The answers to the third question starts a bit differently, as the question is asking whether an action should be taken. You could just start your answer with a yes or no, but the chosen response shows the speaker is really sure of their opinion. Definitely not. This is followed with a quick description of why it would be the wrong action to take using two adjectives: terrible and foolish. The next sentences just explain why the speaker is using these two negative adjectives to describe the action. This takes a bit more explanation, so the speaker uses two sentences to explain. Finally, a personal example is given in the final sentence. The next group of questions is on family. In what ways have families changed in your country in recent years? I think it's more common to see single-parent families nowadays. In the past, divorce occurred much less often, but now we can see married couples parting ways and one parent takes custody of the children. If I look at my extended family, all of my aunts and uncles have gone through divorces, but the generation preceding them, my grandparents, are still married. Should husbands and wives have different roles within the family? That's a difficult one. My honest opinion is that men and women should share family responsibilities equally. We're living in a time where gender roles are becoming less important. Women and men are more able to choose what they want to do regardless of their gender. Therefore, we might assume that there will be little difference between the roles of a husband and wife. Having said that, it is obvious that if the man or woman prefers a certain responsibility over another, or is just better at fulfilling a certain role, they should split the roles appropriately. A friend of mine is married, and he generally has the same role as his wife. They both go out to work, pay the bills, and do the housework. But there are some tasks that one of them will do rather than the other, as they are just better at doing it. Which are more important to you? Your family or your friends? Well, I'd have to say my family. Although I care a lot about the friendships I have, my family members generally take precedence over my friends. Friends can come and go, but you can't change your family members. In my experience, relatives are the ones who are always there for you through thick and thin, in the good times and the bad. Here we can see a bit more variety with the length of answers. The second question has a much longer answer than the others. Despite the different lengths, all of the answers continue with the direct answer, explain, and example structure. The first question is asking the speaker to compare the past and present. We can see the speaker understands this as they use the comparative more common in the first sentence and the time expression nowadays. This clear and direct answer is followed with a short explanation showing the change from the past to the present. And finally, the speaker gives a quick personal example that shows the point they were trying to make. The second question is a bit like an agree-disagree question. The speaker must respond by saying whether they think husbands and wives should or shouldn't have different roles within the family. The response here does give a direct answer, but it's a bit different. First of all, the speaker comments on the question, saying, "That's a difficult one." This could be that they're buying a bit of time, or that they're just being honest. Either way, it does sound like a natural response to a complex question. The direct answer is clear, and it is followed by quite a long explanation. It shows two sides of the argument. Firstly, why gender roles should be the same nowadays, and secondly, why roles within a relationship might be slightly different. The comparison is made with the help of the phrase, "having said that," used at the beginning of the sentence to compare information with what was said in the previous sentence. The example given at the end of the answer shows the truth behind both parts of the explanation. The final question is asking the speaker to compare the importance of family and friends. The answer is quite short, but offers enough explanation to ensure it is clear. There is also some quite interesting vocabulary shown in this answer. The phrase, "take precedence over," is used to show one thing is more important than another. Also, the idiomatic phrase, "through thick and thin," which is explained in the answer to mean in good times and bad. Thanks for watching. If you found the video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos.